Good evening. My name is Denise Mallard, and today I'm going to be doing a professional development on teachers' mental health matters. Yes, that is exactly what I said. I'm going to be focusing on teachers today. We focus so much on our students that we forget those who teach the students. So today's professional development is going to comprise of relearning about ourselves, showing the studies that aligns with what teachers have been saying all along. And I know even after COVID, um, we had such an awareness of what we were missing within ourselves. And so today we're going to learn some different skills. We're going to learn what we can do to help make ourselves a better person and help our mental health. So before we get started with that, I'm going to go over my statement of educational ethics. So it states, I will strive to maintain and or sustain sound mental health so that I can perform the duties that are assigned to me in and out of the classroom. So when I made this educational ethics statement, it was referenced into Association of American Educators Principles 2. The ethical conduct toward practices and performances states the professional educator maintains sound mental health, physical stamina, social prudence necessary to perform the duties of any professional assignment. So let's just grasp that for a minute. So it's saying in the American uh, Educators, that association is telling us that one, we need to have a sound mental health, physical stamina, which the mental and the physical go hand in hand, and social prudence necessary to perform the duties of any professional assignment. So how can we do this if we're not well? So each day we go by so many different labels. So for instance, we teachers, mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, mentor, counselor, friend. We're a daughter to somebody. We're a son to somebody. We have so many different layers and labels that we carry each and every day. But the one that we are forgetting, the one thing that matters beyond all of them, human. Yes, I said it. We're human. People forget that about teachers. Yes, we make mistakes. We have bad days. We go through life just like everybody else. But why is it a problem when enough begins to be too much for us? And we're made to feel guilty for just needing a break, just needing time to refresh, to revive, to reset, to restore, but sometimes just to be. It's time to stop dehumanizing these humans. So studies have shown that teachers' mental health and wellness is correlated with students' wellness and overall achievement in the classroom setting. So as you can see on here, I have an illustration that states, I believe teachers' mental health matters because we want our children and our future to be nurtured by people who know how to nurture themselves and are encouraged to do that. I have to bring up a situation where when they started doing the SELs within the school system. And my thought was, how can teachers teach SEL, social emotional learning, if they haven't dealt with the social emotional issues that they are facing? And with that may come some triggers that they may face or have to deal with or cannot even talk about, trying to teach it to other students, but they have not yet mastered those skills to be able to say, I can be an example or I can model this for you, because they haven't first dealt with it themselves. I posed a question in a meeting. I said, okay, so we're focusing a lot on student SEL. What about teacher SEL? The room was silent. It went so silent. So that brought to me that we are often forgot about when it comes that the direct connection between our students and ourselves, and continuously to provide a positive teaching environment. So with that study, I was able to look up some different peer-reviewed studies in regards to this, just to kind to have the evidence that backs up this statement. So in Social Psychology of Education article about Happy Teacher, Healthy Class, they were trying to prove the link between teachers' mental health, the stability or their instability, having a direct effect on the students in the classroom. They use multi-level modeling to link teachers' subjective well-being to students' health and perceived support. Now, at the end of that study, they did show that teachers' attitudes and behavior toward learning and their daily lives had a positive association with both the subjective physical and mental health reported by those students at the end of that semester. So as we can see that there is a connection between the two. So why is this solution needed? As we've seen many, many times on the news avenues, we've seen it at social media, we've seen it everywhere. We've seen it in the school board meetings, the issues of attendance issues with teachers, teacher shortage, mid-year resignations, and the overall learning environment. It can be the make or break because of what has been being able to come forth in the classroom because of the teacher's physical and mental health. So teachers, how do we get to that place of being mentally healthy and learn different skills to have a balance and learn to be human again? That's the word. So step one, this is my go-to. This is my everything when it comes to taking care of my mental health. Step one, take mental health days. I am for it to one day be put into law as a policy where it's required mental health days aside from sick days. Days where you could just be to reset and revive yourselves. So that way you can pour from a full cup and not from an empty cup. We can't do that anymore. And when you take those mental health days, don't look at those emails. Don't look at them. Don't do any work. Just be. So here are some tips for us teachers. So making it a priority, seek out support, think of mental health in a healthy way. So just how we think of eating healthy, um, think of exercising and stuff, things that make us physically healthy, things that you can see on the outside appearance. But the inside is as much as important as the outside. Then we want to also develop a healthy PLN. And what that is a personal learning network. So that just provides great spaces for teachers to exchange ideas, collaborate, and share resources, and engage in meaningful discussions about their teaching practice. So, and then we also be in the right place. Set boundaries, not only with the adults, but with your students. I know it is hard, but in the end result, you are teaching them how to set boundaries in their own personal lives. So, for example, um, with my one of my classes is the younger students, and I had to teach them not to bombard me into my personal space. But that was a teaching moment to teach them that everybody does not want people very close to them. And it may be for more than one reason or another. And so I told them and discussed with them, when you need something, you can raise your hand. And when I acknowledge you, then if I invite you to come to me, that is the time where you come to me. So that way we can discuss what the things that you are needing. And if I'm with another student, be respectful of your classmates while I'm speaking with them. That's another teachable moment. Teaching them how to respect not only the teacher, the person of authority, but also their classmates as well, and set of boundaries that way as well. So there's a lot of different teachable moments when we are comfortable enough to set those boundaries. It will only help and not hurt. Avoid toxicity, emphasize purpose, take care of your body. You know, the things that we eat can have a direct effect on our mental health. So those processed foods and the things of that nature, they are harming the brain and not helping. So just keep that in mind. Have a life outside of work. Some of us don't even know who we are outside of being a teacher, or like we mentioned earlier, those labels that we have on us every day. Who are you outside of Miss Such and Such, Mr. Such and Such? Who are you? And never get to the point where you feel stuck. We should always be growing in some way, form, or fashion. So that brings us to our first activity for today. So, what is your definition of self-care? So, when you go to this screen, you can see that the little dinosaur is telling us self-care is not lazy or selfish. Self-care is healthy. Self-care is important. Self-care is necessary. When you click on the dinosaur there, it will take you to my Jamboard where you could put your sticky notes of what you think self-care is. And you could put a sentence, you can put just one word, or if you don't know, that is okay as well. So that's what we're going to be discussing. Okay, everybody got it? All right, so let's go to this slide where we are prioritizing teachers' mental health in the age of COVID. So we've all gone through COVID, and I know that I've been able to recognize that dealing with COVID, that brought light and awareness to what teachers deal with on a daily basis. Um, and brought light that we need to focus on our mental health. So here are some worthwhile tips for teachers. So choose your battles. Every battle is not meant for us to fight. Choose them, the ones that even with your students, pick your battles with them. Because are you the end result is that there's going to continuous interruption, not only the peace of yourself, but the peace of the students and the environment. So choose your battles. Form a self-care collective. That's what we're going to go over next. Remind yourself that every behavior is a form of communication. So I don't know if you notice, but the nonverbals speak louder than the verbals. So that is what I pay attention to when I'm seeking to find out what's really going on, not only with students, but with myself and with my fellow teachers. Get moving, exercising. Let's get moving. Bring fun into the classroom. It don't have to be so serious. It don't. It does not. So, and that would brighten up your mood when the when you bring fun in there, just it's a sense of release and enjoyment. Use available resources. Practice asking for and accepting help. I know sometimes we feel as if, um, even like if we're a new teacher, we're trying to prove ourselves, or we don't want to feel like we have to continuously keep going to somebody asking for help, and we want to try to do things on our own, but we really do need the help. It's time out for not accepting help. Practice saying no. No, that could be so hard for us, because we're so used to trying to please everybody, wanting to do everything, help everybody. But what is happening? You are pouring now from an empty cup, which is going to feed more into the burnout, the overwhelming sense of just wanting to give up. And then it affects not only your mental state, but it begins to affect your physical body. So we have to learn the word no. Even, and I do this even with my students. Sometimes they think if I tell this person yes, then I got to tell them yes too. That is not always the case. They have to learn now that sometimes you're going to get a no. How are you going to respond when somebody gives you a no? We've all been there where we've gotten a no from somebody and we thought that was the worst thing in the world. But it's in your response when somebody tells you no that they're paying attention to. There it again, they're paying attention to your behavior, the nonverbal that you're communicating. Set boundaries between home and work. Stop bringing work home. It'll get done. So just write you out a list. And this is what I do, set my realistic expectations. I write a list either at the beginning of the week or every so many days. I write a list of expectations and goals that I'm setting for myself for that week. And I check them off as I go. And guess what? Now I don't think Well, since I didn't get it done at school, I'm gonna just do the rest at home. No, you have to stop that. It will get done. You have to learn to prioritize yourself. You have to learn how to separate the two. It's going to be hard at the beginning, but once you get it, you will master it. So here are some self-care ideas. Show yourself some grace. Be patient with yourself. This is one of my favorites, the breathing exercises. Simply, let's do this together on a count of three. One, two, three, breathe. One, two, three, breathe. One more time. One, two, three, breathe. Just in that, don't you recognize and notice how you've calmed your body is calming down and the tension is being released? And next, there are some different exercises and stretches that you can do. Try some affirmations, and we're going to go over affirmations in a little while. Write yourself a thank you note. Write in your journal, and I have some handouts where you can have a daily journal that you can use for each week. Try planning something. Listen to some calm music. Turn the lights off, turn them down. Even in my classroom setting, I don't turn all of the lights on. I turn one of them on. They're still going to be able to, everybody's going to be able to see all of their work, but it still calms the atmosphere down in the classroom. Go on a chore strike. Do it. You can do it. So you work all day. You deserve a break. Degress from everything that you have dealt with of the day and the classroom. Go home, do nothing. Do that, try that once a week. And then you will gradually bring it up, maybe two, and see how that makes you feel. Take a social media break. Y'all, this is one, now they talk about coloring, but there are some very good adult coloring books that are very soothing. And I do have that in the handouts that I will provide to you all as well. Listen to the rain. It's very calming. Get a mani or pedi, and you could do the DIY mani and pedi. You don't have to go and spend money to do something to pamper yourself. Cook your favorite meal or get your favorite snack. Notice three beautiful things. If it's something in a room, something about yourself, but just focus on those things for a moment and get you a paid friend, like I would say, a therapist. There's nothing wrong with having a therapist. They are the people that can look from the outside and see what's going on with you from a non-biased point, and being able to help you, give you the coping skills, give you the strategies that you need to be your best self. I saw a therapist when I was at my worst with being overwhelmed, with feeling like I just wanted to throw in the towel. Um, I sought out my paid friend that helped so much. All right, so this one is my favorite with activity two. So we about to do a mirror check. So if you don't have a mirror, but you have your phone, go to your camera. Let's go, everybody, go to your camera. I got mine right here. All right, so we're going to repeat these teacher affirmations. So after I say it, you're going to say it after me. And the thing about affirmations, sometimes you may not believe it at that time, but if you continue to repeat positive things, you will begin to believe it, you will begin to feel it, and begin to know it and live it. I have over my mirror in my bathroom, I have affirmations. And I say that to myself, I say it out loud each day to set the tone for the day, to help me journey, even if the day is bad. I still know and believe that I will have a good day. Don't let one thing determine the 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 outcome of your day. So let's do this together. So let's say, I am more than enough. I am important and I matter. I believe in my capabilities as a teacher. No one can dim my light. I see the glass half full, even when others see, and I stress see, half empty. I am on my own path. I exude positive energy. I am not in competition with my colleagues. I'm going to spend time with a loved one. My reality is valid. I am in control of my thought life. And it's okay for me to not be okay. But don't stay not okay. And put your name at the end of there. And last but not least, be patient with yourself. So utilize some of these affirmations on a daily basis to offset your day, to help you see things in a different light, a different perspective. Because a lot of times we see things in a perspective that is not really that's occurring. But because of what we've dealt with, what we face, what we have experienced in the past, it can kind of miscrew our vision and perspective of things. So it's time to see things from a new light, a new vision, new lenses, as we just say. And lastly, our last activity is the mental health journaling. And I will have those handouts for you as well. So the big question is, how are you doing for real? How many of us, when somebody asks us how we're doing, we immediately say, I'm doing okay. But inside, you said, no, I'm not. I'm overwhelmed, stressed. I got this to do, got this to do, got this to do. I got this going on at home. I got this going on with my child. I'm not feeling myself. I'm not feeling who I am. This is for you, this journaling, to truly write and be for real with yourself. And so here's one of the examples. This is from the one for Monday. Teacher Mental Health Daily Journal. So it says the weekend may be over, but I am grateful for. So think of the positive. Even when we perceive Monday as a negative, what can we pull out to think of a positive thing to help us to get through that Monday? And then second, let's set a personal goal, a teaching goal for that day. We don't necessarily have to think about the whole week, just that day. And then lastly, let's do one of our today's affirmation. And it's you can either choose one of the ones that have been provided in your handout, or you can think of some ones of your own that you would like to put there, and because it make it personal. This is for you. Okay. All right. And lastly, here were some of my standards that I kept in mind as I was constructing this professional development. One, which was from the Association of American Educators principle. The professional educator maintains sound mental health, physical stamina, and social prudence necessary to perform the duties of any professional assignment. Two, shall not disclose information about colleagues obtained in the course of professional service unless disclosure serves a compelling professional purpose or is required by law. So we have to make sure that when we are sharing things with each other, that we are using this standard. And only things where it's to the point where they may harm themselves or they want to harm somebody else, that's when you may, have to, well, you will have to, um, follow the policy and the protocol for that. Three, we shall not knowingly make false or malicious statements about our colleagues, meaning when you may hear something about somebody, don't go spreading, you know, other things that are not true when it comes to your colleagues. It's about all about building a community, a trusting teacher community. And lastly, listen non-judgmentally. And I got this nugget from the Mental Health First Aiders site with the Aglys that they have on there. So here are a couple of my references that I used as I was constructing this professional development. And I want to thank you all so much for attending my professional development. I hope that you gained some type of insight to help you, to give you a second wind, to give you a fresh start, give you a refreshing, a reviving, a restoring of some sort, and gain some type of skills and strategy that be able to help you each day. So thank you, and you all have a great day.